the things oh my god, like I'm like saying it back to myself and I'm realizing how insane that sounds. I'm kind of nervous. I feel like I'm coming down with something. Oh wow. Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeana. If this is the first time you're seeing me and if at the end of the video you'd like to see more of me, do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today we're going to do a little chit chat, get ready with me. I'm going to do my makeup for no particular reason, just to stand in my bedroom and take pictures. But anyways, I thought I would sit down here and give you guys a little story time, you know, something that I wanted to do for a really long time and I just never did for some reason, so we're gonna do it. Before we start, I put the scarf around my neck because I'm gonna be doing my makeup and I'm wearing a white top and I didn't want to get, you know, any foundation on the white top, so there you go. But let me take you guys back, right? 2 years ago, my senior year of high school, right? At this time, I was kind of living my best life, you know? I was 17, I was a high school senior, I was doing roll. So I was taking college classes while still in high school. So I had 4 classes and I did like 1 a day. So I was going to school like Monday through Thursday in the morning. I worked part-time, but I was working like full-time hours, and this will all make sense from the story. You'll see. But anyways, I still do live in a very small town, right? Everyone kind of knows each other, everyone kind of dates each other, everyone's kind of cheating on each other, to be completely honest, and it's just a really small dating pool. And I just never had any luck dating people like around my town or like through mutual friends or at school, and I kind of just, you know, was focusing on school and other things. I didn't really think about it. But when I was 18, I made the incredible decision to download Tinder. Literally on my 18th birthday, like that night, I downloaded Tinder and I made my first account, right? So I'm on Tinder for a little bit, right? A couple weeks, you know, back and forth, like I'm on it, I get tired of it, re-download it, you know how it goes. So I was on Tinder for a little bit, nothing really panned out. I had like a couple of dates. I think I like went to Starbucks once and I like got dinner once, but it was nothing that really like resulted in anything. It just didn't go anywhere. I got ghosted a lot. So sad. I wasn't like too worried about it. Like I said, like I was, you know, finishing high school, I was working full-time, like I was kind of vibing. I was just kind of doing it, you know, for funsies, you know, just here and there. And so some time passes, right? And one day I'm on Tinder and I come across this profile, right? And I'm like, oh, like he's cute, but he lives like 80 miles away. No, like I just could never. So I went to like swipe left, right? And it's crazy how one little decision can like alter the course of your life, you know? So I literally was about to swipe left and I was like, you know what? He's cute. Like, what do you got to lose if you don't match? Okay, if you do, then like, I don't know, maybe you can have like a little conversation or whatever, because maybe you'll like message him and he won't even respond, because that's how it literally goes on dating apps, which I don't understand. Like, why match with me if you're not gonna talk to me? Besides the point. So anyways, I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? So I swipe right? We match, cool. I message him, he messages back. Wow, shocking. And so we were like chatting for a little bit, and then we exchanged like, you know, Snapchat informations, because that's what you do, you exchange Snapchats. And so we get each other on Snapchat and we're just like talking, you know, getting to know each other, you know, chit-chatting, whatever. And it's like really nice, like we're clicking and the conversation's flowing. There's no like awkward lag between us like talking, like it's just going really well, right? And so this goes on for like a couple weeks. We're talking like every day, you know, getting to know each other. He's sending me updates like, oh, I'm at work, oh, this and that, I'm leaving, you know, just basic like, hey, like just like basic communications. Like we would just talk throughout the entire day. If he like had something, if he wasn't gonna like respond for a while, he would like let me know, you know, just like good communication. Like it was just really nice, you know. It was just literally like the bare minimum, which is so sad, but that's really how it is nowadays. It's so sick. And so we're like chatting for a little bit, right? And me being the kind of person I am, I'm a detective. Like, no shame in the game, I will stalk you, especially if you're gonna meet people like online. I think it's very important to stalk people, because you never know, there might be some like domestic violence charge from like 4 years ago. You should know about that, okay? Protect yourself. So, you know, I'm looking him up on Google and everything, trying to find out, okay, who is this man, like what's he about. At this point we had like each other on like various social media sites, you know, Instagram and all that. We had each other's numbers. And so I found his Instagram. I followed him on Instagram, and I was just kind of looking through, you know, looking at, you know, the things that he likes, the, you know, the people he's mutuals with, the kind of things he posts, you know. And I come across this one picture, and it's just a picture of him, but there's a comment from a girl, like very recently, a little heart eye emoji, and I'm like, that's interesting, you know. So me being me, I click on the profile, right? Y'all, why was this man's name in her bio? Why was his full name in her bio? I'm looking at that like, it's like that. Wow. And so, you know, me being me, I took my little screenshot, I sent it to him, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, I never want to be the side chick. I never want to be involved in the entanglement. I don't want it. Like, if you have something else going on, let me know, and I'll fall back. Like, I do not want to be part of any of that, right? And so he responded back. He's like, oh my god, like, that's my ex. I don't know why she's doing this. We've been broken up for a while now. Like, I'll handle this. I'm really sorry about this, you know. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is, you know, an interesting turn of events. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just like let you handle it, I guess, you know. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Figure out what y'all need to figure out, and I'll be here vibing. And so after that, the day ends, right? I don't hear anything back from him, and I'm like, okay. And then another day passes, still haven't heard anything back. So I'm like, yeah, like, what's going on, babes? And so against my better judgment, I go back on the girl's page, right? Why is there a picture of the two of them posted like literally 37 minutes ago together? Wow. At this point, I'm just like, really, dog? Really? Like, this is how you gonna do? So once again, took my little screenshot, sent it to him, and I was like, look, if you still have something going on, let me know, and this will just be done. Like, I'm not doing this, like, very much over it, right? And he's like, I'm really sorry, I didn't want you to find out this way, but yeah, we started talking and we decided to get back together. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But so you just weren't gonna say anything? Ciao. Anyways, so at this point, it's only been a couple weeks, you know. I'm not like distraught over it or anything. I'm still vibing, living my best life, making my money, getting my degree. Like, I'm good, you know. So I was like, okay, dude, whatever, deuces, right? Should have been red flag number one, right? Should have been. So anyways, a couple weeks go by, I don't really hear anything from him, you know. I may have posted a little petty post, may have taken a cute little picture of me, you know, posted on the gram with a little petty caption, may have shared a quote or two. I may have done that, but for the most part, I was like, it is what it is, life moves on, deuces, right? So I'm feeling myself. I just got my hair braided, I'm taking a little picture, a little video, whatever, and he swipes up in my story, little heart eyes. Sir, back to your seat. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I ignore it. I didn't say anything. A couple days go by, I post like another, you know, little thirst trap video of me looking cute, you know, and he swipes up again. So I'm like, okay, once, okay, twice, what do you want? So I like messaged him and I was like, don't you have a girlfriend? And he's like, no, we broke up a few days ago. So I'm like, so you're running back to me? What am I, like, runner up? So then, you know, we fall back into old habits, start talking again, chit chat, whatever. I should have, like, in hindsight, I should have just been like, no, you played me, you did me wrong, like, but you know, I was 18, I was naive, I was dumb, I didn't know. So anyways, we kind of started talking again, we're chit chatting, and we're like really getting to know each other, like we're really clicking, like we just got along like really well, you know. And so like literally months go by, literally months went by, right? And I was just snapping this man, talking to him, texting him, everything, and like it was chill, like we just had a chill little, you know, internet relationship. But eventually, you know, it came time where, you know, he was like, I want to see you. And so at this time I was driving a 1999 Toyota Corolla, and none of the doors worked. Literally the left side was like caved in, and it was not gonna make it 80 miles. Okay, it was not. It had literally stopped on me twice before. It was not traveling 80 miles, right? And for some reason, like, he didn't want to drive down here to like come and see me, even though like he would like travel for work, right? And he would literally pass through my city sometimes, and I'd be like, oh, like stop by and see me, and like it was always like an issue, right? It was always like a reason why he couldn't, which was weird. But you know, I was still living with my parents. I didn't really have any bills besides my car insurance, which was like $2 something. Like, I was making bank, you know, because I wasn't paying rent or anything. So I got the great idea to just Uber there. So I was gonna get in the car with a random stranger to go meet up with another not so random stranger. But the point being, I was trusting a stranger to get me to another stranger, you know. But yeah, stupid things. I know, we learn. I literally booked the Uber, right? I went there, drove all the way. Well, I didn't drive, but you know, got driven all the way there. And like, we hung out. The relationship before that day and kind of after that day, really weird times. I don't know what I was thinking, but that day alone was probably like one of the best days of my life. Like, it was just so perfect. Like, we just hung out, we got food, we like went and watched the sunset, we just like chilled all day, watched a movie. Like, it was just a perfect day. Like, the entire day, like, I was so happy. Like, it was just such a good day. And then at the end of it, he like drove me home, so God bless. I didn't have to spend another like $200 on an Uber. But it was just like, you can drive all the way down here, so why don't you, you know? But anyways, so that day was really nice. So after that, we went back to just kind of chit-chatting, you know, talking or whatever. And eventually, like, we would want to see each other again, right? And so, like an idiot, I booked another Uber and I went down to see this man, right? So literally, I'm 20 minutes away, right? This is like an hour and a half drive, right? That I'm doing. I'm literally 20 minutes away from this man. He tells me, he's like, hey, like, don't come. Like, I feel really sick. I went out last night and, you know, got bugged. And I like, really don't want you to come, right? And at this point, I was being stubborn. I was like, no, like, I'm gonna come see you. Like, I already paid. I'm already in the Uber. Like, I really want to see you, so I'm going to, right? Like a fucking idiot. I should have just like turned back and went home, but I didn't. So I get there and I'm calling this man, texting him, nothing, no reply. I'm like about to explode because I'm literally in like a strange city. I don't know anyone. I don't have a car. I literally just have my phone and my wallet, and I'm just like out here. I literally stopped at like a coffee shop, right, thinking like, oh, like he'll probably feel better in an hour or something and then we can hang out. No, literally did not hear a peep from him the entire day, and I had to take another Uber back home. I spent like $600 on Ubers over the course of this relationship. I know. The next day, I get a text from his roommate, right? And he's like, hey, like, he wanted me to tell you that like he didn't feel really well. We literally had to like take him to the hospital, you know, all this and that, but he's doing better now. Like, he's awake, everything like that. And I was pissed off because I was like, you left me, you know, the entire day, like you left me hanging. And he was pissed at me because he was like, yo, I could have died and you're being inconsiderate, which I was being really inconsiderate and like really stubborn about it. But I was just like really upset, you know, and I lost a lot of money, you know. But I was like totally in the wrong, and I like totally recognized that. But you would think like after that, it was like this whole, so I didn't mention this in the video, but my biggest thing was that we had planned this like weeks in advance. Like, he already knew that I was coming, and he chose to like go out and get, you know, wasted, like knowing that I was supposed to see him the next morning. You know, that was like my big thing, is that we made plans, checked with you, everything was fine. They texted you the night before, and you still chose to like go out and knowing that you had something to do in the morning, you know. Fight. It was just, oh my god, it was so bad. And you would think after that things would just be like, okay, like maybe this isn't working out, but no, these were both stubborn and stupid. And so we eventually just like made up, started talking again, and I was like, you know what, I can't keep spending all this money on Ubers, right? but baby, that 1999 Corolla is not getting me anywhere. So I had planned on like getting a new car soon because I was about to like go off to college, and so I was just gonna like buy myself like my own car, right? But I didn't plan on doing that for another like 2 months because we were still like in summer. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it anyways, so why not just get it now and then I could just drive. Bought a car. I literally bought a car, not for the sole purpose of going to see him, because I needed a car anyways. Like, y'all, the car was not in good shape, but I kind of expedited you know, the process so I could see this man. I literally bought the car, I took my little pictures and everything. It was very cute, but there was still one problem. I've never driven on the highway. I didn't know how. I was very scared, and so I literally asked my friend, and I was like, hey, like, will you like go with me on the highway? And literally it was like a week after I just bought my car, I literally got my friend, picked her up, we went, got on the highway. I was on it for like 10 minutes just to kind of get a feel of it, and then I took the first exit off and went back down, and it like took us home. And then like a couple days after that, I went on an hour-and-a-half, like 80-mile trip by myself on the highway for the first time in the pouring rain. Like, but you just had to be there, you know. I arrived safely, and we like hung out, and then we like hung out like a couple times, but it was kind of apparent that the relationship just wasn't working out because we lived so far away, and it was just like a strain on our relationship. We would just like fight all the time. Like, little things that like wouldn't be an issue were becoming an issue because like we were so far away and we like never really saw each other, so we were both just kind of like angsty, you know. And then eventually he had told me that he was gonna move for work, so now he was gonna go from living an hour-and-a-half away to living 3 hours away, right? Which things were already bad as they were on their own, but this was just gonna add more strain to it. But you know, me being stubborn, I was very much part of the mindset that, you know, if you want to be with me, you will be, and nothing will stop you. And you know, that's a great mindset to have, but it's not always the most realistic. Sometimes things just don't work out. But I was so adamant of holding on to that relationship, I just like didn't want to let go, and I just like kept pushing, you know. Like, it was bad. Like, we literally just fought every day. Like, everything was an argument, everything was an issue. I was so insane. Like, I even considered switching colleges so I could be closer to this man. Literally, I was going to literally just like halt my entire like process and switch colleges, leave everyone I knew behind, and just be with this man. And like, thankfully he like shot that down, and he was like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that, because if he hadn't, I don't know where we'd be right now. Like, I don't know. But eventually things just weren't working out, and we just kind of like stopped talking, and then, you know, kind of started talking again for a little bit because, you know, we're toxic. And then quickly realized that like it's not gonna be any different. Like, it's just not gonna work out, you know. And eventually we just kind of stopped talking altogether. And I tell y'all, I cried for like a month straight. Like, I would literally cry myself to sleep every day for like a month straight. Like, I was so heartbroken over this. This was like my first kind of like real like relationship, you know. I've had boyfriends before, but like high school, like stupid stuff, like holding hands in the hallway stuff. Like, this was my first like relationship, and I was like so into this guy. And it was like, in the beginning everything was so great, and I kept holding on to that feeling in the beginning, that I kept ignoring everything that was currently happening, you know, because I was still chasing that feeling of like the first time we like ever like met. Sad times. I was down bad. I was down horrendous. But you know, as insane as all that is, as tumultuous as everything was, I'm honestly, that relationship taught me a lot about myself and the kind of person that I am, and it honestly awarded me some like pretty great benefits. Like, I know you shouldn't look for, you know, external validation for things, but sometimes like it's kind of motivating to have someone who like wants to like see you accomplish things. Like, because of him, like, I literally like worked on my credit score. Like, I got my credit score up so I could buy the car. He helped me like pick out a car. He like gave me tips on how to like buy a car and everything. Even like me graduating college earlier, the big overarching thing of that was that I was sick and tired of school and I wanted to finish early. But a small part of me was like, oh, like if I finish college earlier, then like the sooner I can go off and be with him. Stupid, I know, but you know what? It got me a degree at 20, so I'm not mad at it. It was a toxic little time in my life, but hey, I at least accomplished some things out of it, you know, so that's cool, I guess. And I remember thinking like, oh my god, I'll never love again, like I'll never care about someone like this, and that's not true. You eventually get over it. Life eventually does move on, but it does feel like a lot at that time, especially like when you're so young and this is like your first kind of like, you know, relationship. I was very heartbroken about it, and it's okay, you move on. But I would say the most important thing I learned in that relationship: leave at the first sign, okay? Because there were many like moments where I could have just been like, okay, this isn't working out, like we're just not compatible, like this just the situation, the time, it just isn't for us, you know. But I kept pushing, and you know, like it's okay to fight for a relationship and it's okay to like want things to work out well, but don't sacrifice like yourself over it, you know. Like if something just clearly isn't working, and if the other person doesn't care to try as hard as you are, and if things just aren't working, it's okay to let go, you know. Like it doesn't mean you failed, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, just things weren't working out, and you should do what's best for you and just let it go. And like the sooner you let it go, the happier off you'll be, because it might hurt at first, but the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave, you know, and the worse it'll hurt afterwards. But yeah, I was really hurt over that little boy. Like life is so sick, you know. And I always think like, if I hadn't swiped right, if I had just listened to myself and was just like 80 miles is too much, like I'm not doing that, I would have never experienced that pain, you know. But then I probably wouldn't be the kind of person I am today, you know. So we all have lessons to learn. That is my little video. I hope you guys can learn something from my mishaps. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.